Amber, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so and this is something called operation table. Have you seen it before?
Yes, I've seen this.
Okay, so this is part of how the part of the syllabus, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So let me understand from you. Did you go through this, or did you would like me to go through the important parts here to give you example of how it works? So mode, we already know it, right? We already check how the mode works, right? So that is
Yes.
okay. So let me give you fast examples of that, and then we see if it is okay to you or not. So have a look at this, please, and tell me what do you understand from this code.
So I think this code will run till it initializes till 4. Till till x is 4.
So if I put x equals 0, if I initialize this is a condition, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if I put x equals 0, will this be output to the screen or not?
No.
Perfect answer. Good answer. Okay, if I put x equal 5, will this code run or not?
Yes, it will.
Perfect. Okay, what about here? What this code does?
So this is greater than equal to 6, right?
So if x equal 10.
Yes, so then the loop will end, right?
So the loop will not end because this is evaluate to true. We have to wait until
yes.
it's evaluated to false.
Yes.
Okay. So when do you think this loop will actually end? Look at the condition here.
I think when x will be 6.
No, when it is 5. When it is 5, I mean when x equal, so see, when x equals 6 and then we subtract 1 from it, like here, this will make 5 be stored in x. And then we check the condition here. We see that 5, actually, it is not bigger or equal 6. It is less than. So this means that this evaluate to false. So only then we will not run, and then we will end. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I mean, this is something similar, but using an array. Let me come back to that when I explain the arrays to you. Can you tell me first what this condition does, in your opinion?
So any number other than 4 will show this.
Excellent, excellent. You're excellent. Okay, very smart there. Okay, what about this?
So any number bigger than 2 will show this.
And what about this? So if x equals 3, and then we have y equal 1, will this be executed or no?
I'm not sure.
Be confident. I don't mind that you say a wrong answer. Just tell me what you think. We see the word and. So if I tell you,
I don't,
yeah, I'm
yeah,
listening to you.
I don't show that.
Sorry again, I didn't hear you very well.
I think the output will not come.
Excellent. Yes, be confident. You are smart, but you should trust your abilities. Yeah, really, trust your brain. You are smart. So it is true that this both condition need to be true. Only then this will run. So you are correct. So if I put this y equals 3, so will this condition evaluate to true and this will run or no? So
Yes, it will run.
perfect. Good answer. Yes, you are correct. So this is important because sometimes you need to put to build if statements like that. So let me give you here. So now what about that condition? Can you have a look at that condition when x equals 6 and y equals 3? When are this line going to be executed or no?
I think yes.
Okay, but why?
Because 6 is less than 7 and
Excellent.
3 is than 2.
Okay, yes, okay, that's good. So if I put here y equal 1, will this evaluate to true or not?
I think so.
You are correct. Be confident. Yes, you are correct. So if I change this 6 and I put it 7,
No.
so we will not be able to run that line of code, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now, what about here? So if x equal 5, will this run or not?
Yes.
Okay, so if it is 7,
No.
excellent, excellent. Okay, so again, the modulus, we already have seen it, but we didn't take the arrays yet, so we will go through it later. But the most important thing to me, the division here, I want to make sure that you already know it. So the division is if I divide, so let's assume that this is just num, and we say divide by, let me see, let's talk about 2, okay? So if I say num divided by 2, and I want to put something in a variable called result, like that. So if I say num equal 7, and then you say
Yes.
7 divided by 2, what, in your opinion, could be the result?
I think 3.
Excellent. So we only take the integer part of the decimal. So this is typically the result of such a division, but when we do div, we take only the integer portion of our number. So we return 3. So you are correct, yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's excellent so far. I would like to share with you that code. That code, this is, do you know what is a string? Did you ever hear what is a string?
I have, but I'm not sure what it is.
So a string is, okay, let me first confirm. Do you know what is the data types that we deal with?
I
Did
don't
you,
think so.
Did you hear? Did you ever hear the word integer before?
Yes, I heard it with you
In the math.
last class.
Okay, so okay, integers is any number that doesn't have a decimal point. 50,000. Okay, so real is a number like that. Okay, a string is actually anything that is between double quotation. So this is a string. Okay, so and also I would like to highlight to you that I am able to actually put so I can put something like that and it is treated like a string. Why? Because I put it in double quotation. Am I able to put numbers in between? Yes, I'm allowed to do that. So I can put 1,000 in between double quotation and it will be treated like a string. Can I do arithmetic operation on a string? No, we cannot do any arithmetic operations on string, which means that if I say I have this string and I want to divide it by 2, it will not do the arithmetic operation of the division. Was I clear enough?
Yes.
Okay. And we have something called Boolean. Do you know what is the meaning Boolean data type?
I think this is those operations, right? And no, or the multiplication.
No, Boolean is a data type that can carry something called true or false only. This is in programming.
Oh,
We're
okay.
talking about programming, not mathematics. Okay, so
Okay.
we now talked about 3 or 4 data types: integer, real, string, Boolean. We are also interested a lot in Booleans, and I will tell you why. Because many times we need to have variables that contain true or false, that we are able to use it. We are searching for something inside our variables, or even when we have a list of variables or numbers, we would like to search for it, and then we would like to record if we find something we are searching for inside the list. Okay, so I will go through that later and I will show you why we need to use, or when we need to use Booleans. Okay, now have a look at here. So I created a variable of type string. How I know it's of type string? Because I see here that we are assigning to it some kind of text that it is in between. I mean, we have here double quotation, like you see here. Okay, so this double quotation, uh, Amber, give me a second, please. I have a messages that I need to make it mute so that it doesn't disturb us. Give me a second, please.
Yes.
Now you can see my screen again, right?
Yes.
Okay. If you want to drink or do something, please do it. Don't worry.
Yes, I'll let you know if I have to.
Okay. Yeah. Good. So again, here we know, Amber, that we see a double quotation, so we know that this is some text that is going to be stored in a string variable. How we know that? I said the double quotation here. Am I clear so far?
Yes.
Sometimes we have if conditions that check if our string variable here contain something. So how we test that containment? by checking equal. So is it the word, my word variable here, the string variable that we have the inside. So actually in this condition, it have it, but or it doesn't know. In this condition, it doesn't have it at all. So again, this kind of condition checking does not check that our variable contains something. It actually want to verify that our variable only have this. So if we would like to check if our variable contain part of what we are checking here, this is a different story. This is totally different condition that we want to check, and it's not what we are meaning here. What we are checking here. So if I say I remove that totally, I say my word like that equal the like this. So if I remove that line, I put that line of code instead. So I save the inside my word variable, inside the RAM. So I will go to check that. Do you think this will evaluate to true or false?
I think it evaluates to true.
Yes, trust yourself. You are correct. Yes, you have a very good instinct. So this means that this line of code is going to be printed out. So we will print to the screen that. Do you think the double quotation will be printed? No. The double quotation is for the computer to understand that what is in between is a string, but we never print out. When we try to print out like that, we will never print these double quotations. It is only for the computer to understand. Did I make myself clear?
Yes.
Okay. So again, if we have now, let me just clear one point to you before we move out from here. Okay, so I would say double quotation. So if I put in my variable this kind of string or sentence, okay, so do you think that this condition, this if condition, will evaluate to true or not?
I
Here,
think it will.
I need to repeat again.
No, I think it won't.
It won't. Okay, so you are correct, 100% correct. So now you understand the concept perfectly. Okay, that's good. So I will move to 1D arrays. Did you ever hear about arrays before or lists?
Yes, I have.
Okay, what do you know about arrays and why we need to use them?
I don't know anything about why we use them.
Okay, fine, totally fine, yes. So we need to use arrays when we want to make operations on a lot of variables, one shot, and in an automatic manner. So I want you to imagine that these values is actually marks for the students. So how many values you see here listed here?
5.
Excellent. Assume that this is a marks for the students. So we have 5 marks here, okay? In the normal condition, if I want to get an average of the student marks in a class, maybe I will have 30 students in the class. So at the end, if I have 30 students, it means that I will end up with 30 marks. Am I right? So if I say that I would like to get the average of the marks for the 30 students, in the normal condition, if we didn't use arrays, then I would need to create 30 variables for each student. So student 1, let me say student 1, I need to make a variable, and then I will put his mark here 1. So, and then I will put student 2 and so on until I reach student 30. So now how many variables I created? I created 30 variables. I assume that the last students have the mark 100. So I created 30 variables, Amber. Can you notice that I need to write a lot of lines of code to be able to write, just only to write that amount of variables? That's a lot. So what if I have 1,000 students? That's a lot. I need to write a lot of code. I only need to write variables 1,000 times, 1,000 lines. I didn't do any operation yet. I didn't count yet. And then when I need to add, so can you imagine that if I want to get the sum of the marks, do you know if I want to get an average for the marks, what operation I need to do? If you need to get an average of anything, you need to divide what by what?
You need to divide the total number of values by its sum.
Excellent, excellent. So total by count, am I right?
Yes.
In this condition, if we talking about marks, so we need to get the total number of marks or even the sum of all the marks, and we need to get the count, which is 30 students. Am I right? Is it wrong? Something wrong here?
No.
Okay, so if I want to sum the number of students, which is 30, so I need to write this kind of statement: student 1 plus student 2 plus until I reach student 30, which is a lot. I need to repeat again all the counting here. That is tedious. So if you have 1,000, that is a lot of operation and it's almost impossible. There is a lot of space for mistakes. If you make a mistake in any of these variable names, something will go wrong at the end in your average. Am I right?
Yes.
So that's why they created for us arrays. Using one line of code, you're able to put a lot of values and do operation in a simple manner and understandable manner. So I will explain to you. So here we have one line that can actually define for us. We will see how that looks like. An array of 5. Imagine that this is 5 marks. So again, in the arrays, we have place called values, and we also have something called index. So what is the index? So in the memory, when we store this kind of a list or array in the memory, we actually start counting from 0. We don't count in any programming language you ever learn in the future. We always count the first element in the array with, we say that this is position 0. We don't say we count it. We say we mark the first position or the first element in the array as 0. So, and then we start counting. So after 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. If we have 1,000, so now if we have 1,000 values inside an array, so we will count until 1,000 or until 999. What do you think?
I think the 999.
Okay, so you counted here 5 elements, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so always we say that the last number in the that for the no, sorry, the index of the last element in the array will always be this number, which is 5 elements minus 1. Because why? We are counting from 0. So when we count from normally in the mathematics, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is those are 5 elements. But in programming, we count from 0. That's why the last element will be at the index of the length or the number of the elements minus 1. So if you have 1,000 elements, So you subtract that by 1. That's why your answer is correct, which is the last element will be stored at the index 999. Am I clear so far? Did you understand me?
Could you explain this again?
Yes, definitely. Okay. So, okay. I would like to understand from you first. Which part was difficult to understand? The one that we talk about -1 or about the index itself?
No, the subtraction. I didn't understand that.
Okay. So, no, first of all, tell me, we already agreed that this is 5 elements, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, when you know that your length, the length of your array is 5, it means simply that the last element in your array, it is stored in an index that is 5 minus 1. Or we can say it length. Let me remove that so that I'm able to write that properly, please. Give me a second. Length of the array minus 1 equal the index of the last element. So where is the last element? The element itself is 999, and this is important to us. But it is also important to understand what's the meaning an index. An index, it's the way for us to actually access these values, because when we have in the memory, we actually have, so we assume that this is a RAM. We have an array that is called values. So these values, when we say to the computer, please, we would like to actually reserve a place for array called values, and these have 5 elements inside. So we have element number 1, element number 2, element number 3, 4, 5. But again, in the RAM also, and in the computer in general, we start counting from 0. So the address of the first element, sorry, Grace, sorry, Emperor, we have to close. It's 30 minutes again. We have to close and open again, please. Okay?
Yes, okay.